Uh, Chris, welcome to Delve Podcast. We are really actually excited to have you with us. So I'm going to actually start by just saying that, like you, few individuals have had such sustained exposure to theory and practice, and also you have been involved in also executive decisions making at highest levels. So you have seen everything from basically the practice as well as the theory side. And now, in the current stage, you are traveling globally to give keynote speeches and sharing your experience. So let me start with this particular question from your perspective. There's always tension between lean versus basically more resilient and more redundant kind of supply chain design. So what is your perspective as we are actually moving to more risk environment in our in general?
Well, Mehmet, thank you for having me on the show. It's really a pleasure for me to be here. Your question is so timely. Maybe let me take a step back. Why we even talking about lean versus resilience? Well, before COVID, most companies were happy with the lean concept, the just in time, and the Toyota production system, and it's been working for decades, and it was working very well. But then things happened. We saw the COVID, and then the trade wars, and then the tariffs, and then now the war in Iran and also the Ukraine. That really shifted many things all at once. Everything happened all at once. Then, because of that, so many companies realize that we are shifting from a more stable and more predictable environment to a situation that is virtually impossible to predict, especially under the current administration. So we don't know what things is going to happen. So therefore, the traditional lean concept, which given a bad name, that is not designed for this kind of disruption.
Yeah.
Given that, companies need to pivot. And now the idea of forecasting is really becoming useless. You can't forecast. If you can't forecast, then what do you do? So therefore, the concept of resilience come into play. So now there is a need to have some kind of shifting from efficiency due to the traditional lean to efficiency due to the resilience lean. I would still call it you can be lean and resilient, such that we can actually handle the uncertainty and unpredictability.
Yeah, this is actually exactly as you are picturing. The world is shifting towards basically a place where we need to be resilient, but at the same time, we need to be also uh, facing towards basically fulfilling the customer needs in this changing environment. And do you also at times do you feel like our field shifted too much to the customer side, or should we also need a bit more balance in terms of arranging the back end operations as well?
Well, I think that as companies, also in the context of supply chain, we focus on the demand, the customer demand, but also we need to look at the supply side. Right now, I think that both sides are becoming very unpredictable. So the demand side, because of the inflation, depending on the shortages potential, so in that case, the demands become more uncertain. At the same time, because of the geopolitical issues, the supply is also becoming uncertain. So in order to survive in this kind of environment, companies need to manage both sides, making the demand and more manageable, and also making the supply more flexible, more agile, such that you can actually make supplies meet demand. Then there are different mechanisms to do that. Right now, I would see that is the traditional globalization strategies has evolved. Before the entire global network we can no longer rely on a single source, lean sourcing from one supplier. So now companies is gradually shifting towards maybe China plus X. such that just in case you can shift the production from one country to other country, and also maybe more localized, more regionalized, such that you can reduce the exposure in terms of the disruptions due to logistics, due to tariffs, and due to blockade. So therefore, the reshoring, friendshoring, all this concept come into play, and then companies need to have a resilience strategy, but at the same time, it also has to be the right amount of lean, such that they can still maintain some cost efficiency. So therefore, right now, many companies struggling with the right balance.
I see. So, speaking about this balance issue between the customers and the suppliers, and as you know, we are entering into this different era with the help of the AI and hyper digitization. So, shifting the perspective to a bit like the impact of AI in our field. How do you see these large language models entering into the field of supply chain?
Hmm. Supply chain is changing because of all these reasons, geopolitical issues, unpredictability, climate change, and whatnot. Now, at the same time, in terms of the way of operations is also changing. Before we have a more kind of supply chain, think of it more like functional silos, a more linear space from suppliers and then to manufacturing, to logistics, to distributions, retailing, and whatnot. Now, this kind of process is no longer efficient given the current uncertain, unpredictable climate. So that's where AI comes into play. Because if you rely on different functional silos to monitor what is going on at the demand side, what's going on at the supply side, and try to change how you operate supply chain, is too late. So therefore, the decision making, detection of the change, and also the decision to making the right information decision must be much shorter. So on this note, I want to say that what AI can do potentially is try to shorten the time between sensing the change to respond to change as quickly as possible. Now, AI is equipped to monitor, to manage, to observe the different elements from the email, from the contracts, from the political situation, from what is on the news or on the social media. They can integrate everything into one as a control tower. They can see everything and then to alert you about description, what is happening, prediction, if you don't do anything, what is going to happen, and also provide more clever in terms beyond the LLM. Now there's some kind of agents, some of the tools can also help you give recommendation. You say, well, Mehmet, maybe you need to reroute your shipments because the Strait of Hormuz is likely to be disrupted. Now you need to figure out ways how to ship your oil out of the Gulf. And also, it's also help you to provide different scenario analysis. They can use digital twin or simulations to simulate different scenarios and then give you the options to see which kind of options would be good, would be striking the right balance between risk and cost, risk and benefit.
It's actually amazing perspective, basically shortening the decision time. It's a great actually point of view from the impact of AI. So, as you know, there are like big companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google. They have already integrated all their systems together, but there are also small and medium-sized companies. They are still using uh, Excel or maybe Excel-based dashboards and so on and so forth. And there's also middle ground where these guys are pretty okay in terms of implementing their ERPs, but they are not there yet in terms of fully digitizing their systems with respect to AI. So, given this landscape and heterogeneity, uh, what should small and medium-sized companies, perhaps I should maybe ask this question from their perspective, to really catch the AI kind of phase?
You're absolutely right. For big firms, they have big budgets. They can spend a few $100 million to invest in AI development. They can do that. But at the same time, SMEs, they also have opportunities. So right now, actually, most of the AI models can be very expensive, but also many AI startups is also gearing towards SMEs as well. Because the AI, the tools is not that expensive, but then you just need to build the customized tools to help you. So right now would be like some of the startups, they can actually help some small, medium-sized companies to build a smaller scale because the operation, the scale is smaller, the scope is smaller. They can actually make it more manageable because some of the AI building blocks is already available. So actually they can build a different using different agents and then build the API and then build the agentic AI systems actually can also help these SMEs as well. So I think is actually, you can think of it that is a potential for the SMEs to be even more efficient than the big company because they can pivot much faster.
This is basically a positive perspective, but also the same small and medium-sized companies, perhaps even more for larger companies. People are also scared of AI as well. They are saying the AI is basically potentially replacing their jobs, especially for when it comes to supply chain planning. Maybe it's completely fully automated. So, what's your perspective on this tension between basically the people getting scared of losing jobs versus AI becoming more and more efficient?
You're absolutely right. There is a fear that many reports say, oh, the AI is going to replace 80% of the jobs, and also that human will be replaced and whatnot. I think that's maybe premature because as we all know right now, there are risks in AI. So I think that I want the audience to be very careful. So let me use two godfathers cautions. They're both from Canada. The first one is Jeff Hinton. He actually admitted AI can lie to you. AI is also psychopathy, actually try to please you. And AI has no soul. AI does not have moral standards. So therefore, we still need human to have a compassion, to have ethical standard to uphold that. Now, having said that, the basic routine tasks, yes, many tasks can be done by AI. I am the way I'm teaching now, some of the basic tools, AI will learn them. So now I need to change the way I teach my class because some of the basic analysis, my student can feed into AI, they can do the homework. They don't even need me to explain. So that means the nature of job has changed. That's for sure. So we have to acknowledge the trend is coming, whether we like it or not. So in the future, I think that we should not completely rely on AI, but we need to also have a human intervention. So that is the second Canadian's suggestions. This is Joshua Bentio. He's the founder of Law Zero, talking about AI safety. So he said, well, maybe we need to build agentic AI system that is actually does not have a particular objective. Because right now AI is lying to you. AI could be unethical because the LLM has a built-in objective to please you to become biased. So therefore, if we can have guardrails such that we have human actual interventions, humans actually changing the job instead of doing the job yourself, you are actually above the AI tools to monitor them, to see if they are actually misbehaving. Is the model generating right output? Is it sensible? Is it interpretable? Is it explainable? And then also, if they did something wrong, then you have to provide feedback to retrain the models, to making sure that they don't go off track. Then also you need to monitor, are they being ethical? Are they biased? And also actually giving the wrong decisions? They do happen. You need to monitor that. And then also that you need to audit and try to understand under what condition they will go crazy.
I see. So you are basically seeing this as a it's going to multiply human planners' abilities when it comes to making supply chain decisions. They're going to make it more and more efficient. But at the same time, it's going to create additional, maybe new tasks for the people to learn. and it's going to create its own market that will hopefully expand more need for human-related tasks. We are still not seeing, an example where a fully automated kind of planner makes decision in terms of routing, pricing, logistics planning, manufacturing planning, and so on and so forth. What we are seeing is more like prediction, classification, task completion, or responses. So going forward, do you think optimization, like the core planning functionality from end to end, will it be 100% replaced by the AI also going forward, or is it something that we humans can maintain still a unique advantage over AI?
Yes, that is a great question. Right now, you think about AI developments, actually, in terms of the description, prediction, and now they could do a little bit more recommendation using
Yes.
digital twin and simulation. And yet, firms have not yet completely delegate to the AI system do it because it has not quite proven yet. But these, it will be gradual. I believe in the future, some of the agentic AI system, supply chain planning system, is all building up that kind of capabilities. They can have a, agentic AI to manage other agents to do the routine task like vehicle routing, inventory planning, replenishment, automatic replacements, and also automatic process the purchase order, automated payment. So in the case, they can integrate all this together really quite efficiently for the routine task.
Mm.
But having said that, you still need human interventions, such as, for example, if maybe AI can detect some forced labor issues, non-compliant issue with the suppliers. Now, that AI does not have a soul, does not have the moral compass. Then it require human intervention. Should you continue to contract with these suppliers or not? Now, this one require human intervention, right? So therefore, you still need human in the loop to manage it. So for the routine tasks, if nothing goes wrong, let the AI systems, operating systems to do that. But the human, it become an orchestrator, the conductor, to orchestrate all the AI systems as well. Are they really doing the right thing? Is something you send you alert to say, hey, this one is a bit off. You need to take a second look. Then you have to make a decision what you want the system to do. But the system gradually will be able to do the execution for you. So that's why I call this is a constraint execution. It could be a limited optimization. Under the stable environments, it can do optimization. But under the unpredictable disruptions, it requires human intervention.
And human intuition as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So this is great. And now the maybe closing part. You are also giving. You have taught so many years, and if you want to, for example, teach supply chain management, start teaching again. What would you actually emphasize in your class? Would you basically still cover the basic models that we covered in the class, or would you uh, kind of mention that there are like new tools out there? Maybe we should be thinking more at a higher level, more at kind of intuitive decision making level. What's your kind of perspective? If you push like 30 years of yourself now in the future, how would you, uh, revise your teaching?
This is a great question. I am actually developing a new course on that. It is scary because I found that all the methods, all these models, analysis, everything, AI can do it.
Yes.
But I test it, but you still need to prop it because I'm not giving the wrong answer.
Hmm.
So the way I'm redesigning a course, I'm experimenting it because I'm curious about this. So what I have trying to do, I don't know whether I will be successful or not, but it's a attempt. So what I'll do is that I will give really a snippets of the basics of the analysis to the students so that at least they know the right vocabulary. They need to know what the model is doing. They need to know the basic intuition of the results, but they don't need to know how to do it, the detail. Then I will give them the assignments. They can use AI tool because I cannot stop them not using it anyway.
Of course.
So I would encourage them to do that, but it's their job to become the monitor, become the inspector, become the orchestrator. They have to learn how to prompt the AI to generate, they interpret the results. They need to see whether this result makes sense or not. And then if it doesn't make sense, why it doesn't make sense? They need to ask the AI tool, say, hey, this result doesn't make sense. It seems that could create a problem. Can you do a better job? Can you explain why you do that? So by prompting it, I discover AI can gradually give you the right answer. But the student need to know what the right intuition is, because that will fast shortening the learning curve. Because now I discover using the AI tools, the learning is no longer linear. It's really become non-linear. So therefore, I need to change the way I do that. So I'm trying to see that the class discussion is not showing them how to do the step-by-step analysis. It's trying to discuss what the AI generated result ought to be and how they can actually prompt the AI to generate the right tools, and also ask the student whether they know the answer is correct or not correct, because that would be more useful. So I think that in the future, that what I would call that is a more like the audited autonomy. So that means that the student in the future leaders, they are not the one doing the analysis, but they will be the auditor.
Thank you, Chris. You saved all of us, basically, both the instructors and also the people who are really creating value. Thank you very much for attending to this podcast, and I would love to see you in near future in one of the conferences. Thank you.
Thank you.